We're back with album review.
What's going on?
Hey. So this week we're looking at
Kansas.
Yeah, this is our second Kansas
get the
album
memo.
we're doing. Nah, you're good. I didn't even know that was happening until then.
Kansas.
So basically, we did their first album, their self-titled album, like a little over a year ago or so. And I'll say, it was pretty good. I like that album a lot. This is like another one of their albums that doesn't have a lot of the big hits off of it. This one has more hits than probably the other, or bigger hits than the other album we did. But this one is a little different. Like, it's a lot less proggy songs. Like, there is prog on here because they're a prog rock group. Like, the longer, like, instrumental drawn songs, like, they're really good. These guys use the violin a lot, which is kind of Kansas' shtick.
Yeah. Classical instruments.
Yeah, they own that sound, so.
So what's the first track?
Relentless.
I like the opening track.
It was a good start, very good start.
I always do this.
Yeah, I always check out the album. But yeah, I really like the opening track. I thought it was a really fun one. Like, this album just has like the Kansas sound. Like, it's really fun, upbeat instrumentals.
Yeah, this one was really catchy right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it had like just piano on the verses at first, and then it would build in with the guitars and the drums.
Yeah.
That sounded really cool.
I like this one. There's a lot of ballads on this album too, compared to like some of the other ones.
Yeah, a lot of piano.
Mm-hmm. So what's next?
Anything for you.
This one's good. It's probably one of my least favorite tracks,
I like this
but
one.
I do like this one.
I thought the electric guitar sounded 80s.
Yeah.
It came out in 1980, but
Yeah.
it sounded different than their older stuff a little bit different.
Yeah, they kind of like had that pre-80s sound, like right when it was starting to get big.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's in the 80s, but like it wouldn't get big till like the early 80s, like after 1980.
Yeah. I did really like the guitar on that song, though.
Yeah.
You can thank Dean Zielinski for the guitars.
Oh, thanks, Dean.
Dean
Shout out to
Zielinski.
Dean.
Shout out to Dean. He's the dude who helped create Dimebag's entire career for Pantera. If the
Oh, that's
dude-
awesome.
If the dude Dean Zielinski didn't exist, we wouldn't have Dean guitars,
Oh, wow.
and we wouldn't have Dimebag.
It's cool that he had some hand in this album then.
Yeah, dude.
So the next track I think is the big hit off the album. Hold on. This one's very ballady. I really like this one a lot though.
I like the violin on it.
Yeah.
On the intro.
This was one of my favorite songs on the album. I love the intro, like you said.
They're just very good at composing. Like, it's all very layered, but it doesn't sound like too much. It just blends together so well, and like the singing's great. Like,
Yeah.
clearly multiple vocal tracks. Like,
Yeah, most of the people in the band.
It's
Yeah.
pretty layered, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of like the old studio techniques that they had to go through. Like you had to be on point with that.
Yeah.
So like being a learned musician like they were, it was like mandatory. You had to be in sync.
Yeah, that's what I love about this song too, because like the first time they do the chorus, it's just the one guy singing it, and then it layers like more and more each time, and it's just like a whole chorus
and with
of
that
people.
big of a band, it's kind of like a mini orchestra. That's kind of the feel that you get from
Yeah.
their songs.
It's like a smaller Chicago in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, I can totally see that.
Like they don't have as many members, but still.
I have never heard of Kansas being described as Chicago, but I totally can. I can totally
Especially
get
because they're
behind
in
that.
different places.
And they're both named after locations.
Dude, the funny thing is, every time I hear the band Kansas get mentioned, I think of JonTron.
Yeah.
Remember that episode where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get sued by Kansas."
Yeah.
Loner is the fourth track, I believe.
Loner is one of my favorites.
Really?
I dug this one
Really?
a lot. I like this one.
Super upbeat, really fast. Yeah, I really liked it.
The beginning sounded almost country-ish.
Yeah, I could hear that.
But then this one was like really fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the shortest track.
Yeah, this one's pretty short.
But yeah, I thought it was cool. It was good.
Yeah.
And the next track is a longer one, Curtain of Iron.
I really like Curtain of Iron. I love the story behind this one.
This one felt very ballady.
Yeah, this one pretty much talks about like censorship that was going on
I was gonna say,
under the.
is this communism?
Yeah, this is communism.
Communism.
I thought it was a really good song about like book burnings and them trying to censor information.
And this one had like a cool sounding like synth keyboard kind of thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned. Hang on, I gotta pull this back. Somebody was doing like 3 things at once in this band. It was like the keyboard, guitar player, and somebody else.
And singer probably, because I know most of them sang on the album.
So many things going on all at once.
Yeah, but I liked Curtain of Iron a lot. It was definitely another one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too. That was one of the best songs I think on the album.
Yeah.
Kerry Livgren, guitars, keyboards, percussion, vocals.
How?
All at the
How'd
same
that work?
time.
Robbie Steinhardt, violins, violas, lead vocals. Steve Walsh, keyboards.
Steve Walsh is probably the most notable member of the band.
Yes.
And he's the one singing on most of their biggest hits, I feel like, right?
Probably.
Like
yeah.
the main voice, like on Carry On Wayward Son.
The fucking vibes. He's credited for having vibes.
Steve Walsh?
Yeah.
He said
One of his credits is
keyboards,
vibes.
vibes, percussion, and lead vocals.
I love that it was in the middle too.
Yeah.
So what's the next track?
Got to Rock On.
I like Got to Rock On. This is a nice, like, slower, like, kind of, I don't know, bouncy one. It's really fun, though.
Yeah, this one wasn't one of my more favorites on the album.
Yeah.
But it did have a fun sound.
I liked the vibe of it more than, like, anything else, but it was a
the
good one.
idea of the song was cool, too. It was
Yeah.
basically just, like, them appreciating, like, the music that they can have the ability to make.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty cool.
This art is fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, I love the artwork, too. Kansas usually has some cool, or at least interesting album covers.
80s.
Very 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Next is Don't Open Your Eyes.
This one's not bad.
I think this was one that I had actually heard before somewhere. Maybe,
Okay.
Maybe just down here you played it or something.
Maybe.
But
Yeah, I like this
I
one.
did like this one. I thought that the piano on the first verse was really like building a lot of tension with the melody, and
Yeah.
that sounded great once everything else came in.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a middle part of this song that was like a pretty long bridge.
Yeah.
Guitar solo
Definitely one of the
inside.
longer ones.
Yeah. Next track is No One Together.
I like this one too. It's another like faster one. It's like another really catchy one with the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a 7-minute song.
It's yeah, it's
this one
definitely
was
this
long.
is the longest off the album.
It felt like the other songs that were long felt like that was right. Like
Yeah, this
they
one
were
just
more
felt like it
ballady.
went on a little.
This one was a
long.
little bit longer than it needed to be. Felt like, but
Yeah, but like
it was still
they
good.
always have like those longer songs. Like on the first album, the one song was like 9 minutes. So like that's a little shorter on this album, but because this is when they started to like go less proggy.
Next one is No Room for a Stranger.
I like this one.
This
Like-
one's like similar concept to the Anything for You one kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like a guy that is like in love with a girl who doesn't want him, and like in this song, like her friends are even like making fun of him basically.
Yeah.
And then I think it kind of like just drives him crazy towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like crashing out.
Crash
Yeah.
out!
But it was good.
Yeah. For real. Like that one.
And
Yeah.
the final track, Backdoor.
Backdoor's a nice one. It's kind of a slow one, but I enjoy it. Like it's definitely not one of my favorites, but I don't
Me
mind
either.
it.
I thought it was good for an outro.
Yeah,
It
for
had-
sure.
It definitely fit in well, and the name was funny to use as an outro.
Yeah, I love when bands do stuff like that.
But yeah, that one was okay in the grand scheme of the album. I think
Yeah,
there were
I'd
better
say
tracks.
so. Overall, though, I'd say this album, another really good album by Kansas. I think I like the first one better, but this one is still pretty good. Because, like, on the first one, it's, like, lots of energy. Even, like, the slower ones are just really good. The violin kicks ass. This one, same. But, like, there's less tracks on here that I like as much as that one, I'd say.
Yeah.
What do you say, Luke, as someone who listened to both albums?
It still invokes Kansas vibes.
Oh, yeah.
100%. All the instrumentals are pretty kick-ass. The art changed, though. Their art direction's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It went from, like, some really crazy, hardcore-looking shit, and now it's kind of weird-looking and 80s retro.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, production-wise, it's magnificent. It's a fucking banging-ass album.
Mm-hmm.
Audio-wise.
No, yeah. I don't-
Solid overall.
Yeah, no bad things to really say about the album. There weren't any songs that were bad. Like
Yeah,
they,
I'd say
they're
so.
all well put together, and they're clearly a very skilled band, composing wise and instrument playing. It's very diverse compared to other bands from the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Good listen to a first Kansas album.
Yeah. And
Solid.
I do recommend, like, the big hit albums, too, but, like, their 70s and even the 80s run they had was really good. Like, you really listen, just pick one and it's good. Like, some of the new ones are alright, but, like, these are pretty good. Let's go to scores. I think I'm gonna give it, probably an 8. I think I'm gonna do an 8.
That's good.
Because, like, I gave the other one a 9 because I really love that one. Like, this one, I think is still really good, though. I recommend this one a lot.
I'll give it a 7.5.
That's what I was originally gonna give it.
Yeah, it's solid all around. For not being familiar with this particular album, it was a pretty good banger.
Yeah, again, like the other one, too, it's, like, kind of self-contained in a way.
Yeah.
I was also gonna give this one a 7.5.
I think I might change mine, actually, because,
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah. But I agree, pretty much.
There's really nothing bad to say about it. It just didn't like some of the tracks didn't blow me away.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's only 10 tracks. Half of them were very, very good. The
Yeah.
other half were still good, but like I don't know, not as memorable to me.
Yeah, I think I will change to 7.5, because, like, I agree.
But as a whole, I thought it was a good album, and it was pretty concise, but the vibe was there the whole time. It was easy to listen,
Yep.
so good experience.
Overall, I'd say.
Pretty smooth.
So what have you got, Chet, for our next week's album?
So I'm gonna go with a pretty normie album,
Normie.
but I really like this album, the vibe of it. So I'm gonna go with Currents by Tame Impala.
Oh, wow. Okay. I have listened to this album before. It's just been a minute.
I really like every track, so I think it's gonna be a good listen.
All right.
Everybody.